Back at the DE Turf Complex in Frederica, Delaware. This is the American Select Lacrosse Class of 2025 championship game. We've got DC, Virginia against New York Downstate. Travis Eldridge and Tracy Weiner back with you on Lax Sports Network. The third of 4 championship games here in the American Select Lacrosse Championships. New York Downstate in the white uniforms, DC, Virginia in the red. We've seen Connecticut, the champs in both the class of 2023 and class of 2024, Tracy, but that will not happen here in the class of 2025 as DC, Virginia has their goalie, number 23, we'll get a check on that DC, Virginia goalie. For New York, for DC, Virginia, it's 33. Caitlin Jarvis in goal. For New York Downstate, it is number 38, Morgan Morris, getting the start.
This is a game I'm looking forward to. I mean, obviously the other, 2 games that we did were amazing, but to get 2 different teams now that we haven't seen yet in the championship round is exciting.
Both these teams winners earlier this morning in the semifinals. New York Downstate beating New York Upstate in one semifinal, an all New York battle. DC, Virginia besting Connecticut in the other. Both of those 11-7 games.
This should be a great game, and the class of 25, these are our up-and-coming stars, Travis. They are rising sophomores in high school, and they are on the cusp of beginning their recruiting process.
New York Downstate with the first possession here. Gabby Loretani has it in on the wing. Everybody getting a touch here early on. All these players, the soon-to-be high school sophomores. In many cases, sometimes getting your first taste of varsity action once you get to this age group. Is a nice save here early on by Caitlin Jarvis.
Yeah, that was a nice confident save by Jarvis. She didn't even let up a rebound. No second chance on that.
Maren McCormick, hard to miss her with all the lime green gear on. As she has it checked going end to end, and it's New York Downstate who comes up with the ground ball.
That's a nice turnover right there.
Yeah, Loretani gets it up and bringing it across into the restraining area is Amy Villanueva.
In these games, you try to feel the other team out, see where their strengths are, see where the matchups are on your way. And when you see that, you get that immediate turnover and the ride and whatnot. It gives a team confidence when you're able to automatically on the ride get a turnover.
Grace Winkler into the middle, bounces it wide. Rebound there for Zoe Stonecipher. New York Downstate keeps possession. Remember, all these teams selected regionally represent the best of the respective regions. 18 regions in all represented over the course of these couple of days of action in Delaware.
But they were able to practice, there was a whole setup. I mean, it wasn't just where you get selected and then just show up. You're able to have 3 practices. A lot of teams practice here at Delaware.
Another save by Jarvis. She's dialed in here early.
Yeah, it's those high shots, though. I mean, and I can't stress it enough. When you shoot high to high, that's like goalie warm-up. You really need to make the goalie move, whether it's her feet or her stick, her body, something.
Addison Collins brings it into the restraining area. DC, Virginia getting their first look on offense here today. Avery Coleman beats her defender, can't beat the goalie. Nice stop by Morris. That shot was low. Morris just got a piece as that one's deflected in the midfield. Chance to go ahead. One move, but another stop by Morris. Rebound for DC Virginia. They'll keep. Opportunity here. Up high and a score. Some high heat from Addison Collins. And it's DC Virginia striking first.
Yeah, Addison Collins makes a nice shot here. I think the goalie was a little screened on that one as well. So, you know, when we watch the replay here, you'll see it is non-stick side upper corner, but that's also a shot that, you know, if she gets a clear view of it, the goalie could save those. But I just need to see the position of everybody on that.
Addison Collins at a Great Falls, Virginia, strikes first. DC Virginia in the orange, and here's the look.
There it is. And again, there's a couple of defenders in her way, just missed that with her stick.
Off the draw, scooped up here by New York Downstate. Amy Villanueva picking up the draw control, and she works it ahead. Here's Grace Winkler. Another good look, and this one, she bounces home. So she was stopped on the first one, but Winkler answers for New York Downstate. We're tied at 1.
Correct. And when you look at this shot, you see Winkler's driving the cage, and the goalie starts, and again, when we talk about moving the goalie, right? You see the goalie now start to shift to her right, and Winkler buries it in the left-hand corner as the goalie's moving. So that's just a smart play by obviously an attacker that understands how to use the crease. And right here, see the goalie took the one step off the pipe, and that's where she put it.
Good looking shot from Winkler. She's gotten into that spot a couple of times now and able to cash in this time, but she seems that she's been able to beat her defender one-on-one.
Correct. And I think that Winkler knows that in the matchup, give it to me, and if I have a one-on-one, I'm going to goal.
It's another draw control for Villanueva. Now she takes it back. Good hustle play. And it's brought in here by New York Downstate. Back to Winkler. And now they'll work it back around the cage. Looking for a cutter. This is Zoe Stonecipher. Now back to Winkler. We were talking about it earlier, Tracy. It's so interesting to see the strategies offensively for all these teams and how different or similar sometimes they look depending on the personnel and what kind of matchups you have.
That's exactly right, and it takes a few minutes to figure that out. It's not like these teams have played each other before. Some of them may have played in an earlier round, but you know, they might not have as well. So this is the first time they're playing each other, so you have to start to figure out those pieces of the, you know, of the strategy.
Sydney Ingram gives it up as she's pushed, and we've got a whistle. So Ingram will set things up. Now from the 12-meter line. Good look inside. Nothing there, though.
And that's a smart play. Instead of trying to force it, bring it out, reset. There's no shot clock. There's no reason for any of these girls to try to force anything.
Rowan Edson, who had a good look, but didn't like what she saw as the defense collapsed inside. Nice spin move. Stonecipher shoots and scores. Pretty move by the native of Mount Kisco.
Yeah, that was really a pretty play right there. And you know, Stonecipher really makes a great spot for the shot. You know, and you see the frustration on the goal and you feel bad because that's just, you know, an amazing placement of the ball right here. And you see, I mean, that's tough. Again, it's non-stick lower corner. There's almost impossible to save those.
So New York Downstate has the lead 2-1. First lead of the day for the team in white. Whistle on the draw, and we will redraw this one.
The draw is just, I hope they never get rid of it. It's just so important.
It really does create such an interesting dynamic, whether it's the face-off in the men's game or the draw in the women's game, of being able to make it, take it in lacrosse. You're never out of the game because of the ability to go and score
Correct.
over and over and over again.
And it's still a specialization that some athletes have. And, I hope they never take that away from them.
Nice take, and another one for Stonecipher. Kind of unsettled situation. The defense wasn't all set up, and she takes advantage.
Yeah, and Stonecipher noticed that right away. And to me, that's what makes you a great player, is when you completely recognize that, okay, this is an unsettled situation right now. This is a time for me to go to goal, and I can take this matchup. And you see right here, 44 is, gives her that space, doesn't make, Frances Taylor does not step up and make any contact on that play at all. And a true attacker, if you're going to play defense and not make contact on them, they are going to, take it every single time.
And she's got back-to-back goals. New York Downstate with the 3-1 lead. And a lot of it has come back to the draw. They've won a couple of draws in a row, and they've taken advantage. It's like somebody went early, and then it'll be on New York Downstate, so DC Virginia will get a possession. Kennedy Richardson brings it into the restraining area, and they'll set up shop on offense.
Yep, Kennedy does a nice job there, getting the ball, getting it out of trouble, bringing it in safely. And it's an important, possession for them, being down now 3-1. You need to value the ball, and clearly Richardson did that on that play.
Quinn Murray trying to get the hand free, rolls back to the left, now back to the right, splits the defense, ball poked out, and New York Downstate picks it up.
Yeah, and you would have hoped on that play again that Murray would have just settled it down, not tried to, break a double team, and really just work the ball around until somebody was wide open.
Extra pass off the helmet of Jarvis. Bounces all the way out. New York Downstate keeps the possession. A good quick look inside.
That was a great play. I love the tic-tac play right there by Downstate. I mean, they really were bang, bang, just couldn't bury it.
Sydney
They're playing
Ingram.
really well right now, though, Trev.
Yeah, their offense has it clicking.
It's because they're patient. When you are patient on offense, it's only a matter of time till, the defense breaks down. That's what I've always felt.
This is Charlie Bacigalupo. She feeds inside, and a score for Ingram. 4 straight for New York.
Yeah, New York is really taking apart this defense, and again, it's all about the patience. All you need to do is work the ball, have everybody keep cutting, and somebody's going to get open at some point. I just like the whole play of it. I like the way that, Bacigalupo just was patient. She pulled it out, freed her hands right there. See that little back step, and saw Ingram. And again, those are just high percentage plays.
So New York Downstate has it going. 4 unanswered goals to lead 4-1 as we're a little past the midway point of this first half. On the draw, nicely done by New York Downstate. Winning it to herself was Rowan Edson.
Yeah, Richardson has the height advantage on that. I'd like to see her get it a little bit higher and grab it out of the air. Use her height to her advantage.
Loose ball out by the restraining area. Gonna have a push. And this will stay with New York.
Yeah, New York is winning all of the hustle plays right now, for sure.
You know what kind of difference that can make.
Always.
Doesn't matter what level, what tournament. You win the hustle plays more often than not, you're going to win the game.
That's correct.
Kate Gold.
You know, when you look at the talent that's on the field, Travis, it always blows my mind that these kids have 3 more years of high school lacrosse to play.
Yeah, I mean, I was saying before, I mean, some of them may not have stepped on the field for their varsity teams yet.
You're correct.
Future of all these high school programs, and then future of the college programs. We saw the class of 2023 championship, all sorts of highly regarded commits, including Chloe Humphrey, headed to the University of North Carolina. She scored 4 goals for Connecticut in that win.
But and she was so impressive.
And we saw Connecticut win in overtime just a little bit ago. Devin Russell with the OT game winner. Now, I think another name we'll probably hear for years to come in college lacrosse.
Without a doubt. I mean, so many of these kids are just so talented.
Good look there for New York. Sent just a little wide by Gold. Back up there for New York. Winkler has it and sends it around to Stonecipher. 2 of them have been terrific. Stonecipher and Winkler combining for 3 of the 4 goals so far.
You know, and again, that's the familiarity and just the working of the ball. It's so fun to watch. I mean, the possession that Downstate has had this entire first half has been very impressive.
DC struck first, but they've controlled things since. Winkler all the way around the top. Now pressuring out is DC. Edson tries to squeeze that one in, just a little off, and it's picked up by DC Virginia.
Yeah, and that's not going to go in the stat book, but the defense by Richardson was unbelievable. I mean, she really just was the catalyst to make that play work for the defensive end of the field for DC.
And they'll take a timeout. We'll take it as well. DC Virginia looking to get the offense going here in the first half. The class of 2025 championship here from the American Select Lacrosse Championships on LSN. Back here coming out of the timeout, DC Virginia looking to see if they can figure something out offensively, trying to answer the run of 4 straight goals by New York Downstate in the class of 2025 championship game. Travis and Tracy back with you from Delaware.
Let's see what they do on this. I mean, in all honesty, DC Virginia hasn't had the ball, you know, on the offensive end of the field that much. So hopefully they can value the ball right here and make something happen and try to scratch their way back into this.
Nice move by Frances Taylor to get free, and she draws the whistle. And they'll get it into the restraining box. So good ride there by New York, but DC Virginia takes care of the ball. They'll get an offensive set here. Just over 8 minutes left in this first half.
Patience, patience, patience. That's what I would preach right now if I was the DC Virginia coaches.
Quinn Murray looking for space, floats it behind the cage. Opportunity here. Richardson. Nice stutter step move. Richardson draws a slide and draws the whistle.
I think that Richardson has been extremely impressive so far. We've said her name a lot in this first half. Let's see if she can score here and ignite some sort of comeback.
Quick off the line, and she scores. Richardson with her first. The native of Richmond, Virginia, makes it 4-2.
What a great first step. I mean, she totally, I almost thought she left early. I thought that they were gonna call a foul, you know, but she definitely Taylor, this was, right? Is Taylor or Richardson? That was Kennedy Richardson. Correct. So Kennedy Richardson's the one. I mean, look at that. She is 1-2, and that's it. The ball's gone, and nobody's anywhere near her. What a great first step. So quick.
So that was a goal that DC Virginia needed. Ends the 4-goal run. Back to a 2-goal game as we're under 7 minutes to go in this first half. But right there off the draw, it's Edson again for New York. Quickly. And a score. No, sorry, it stayed out. Thought
Correct,
it got in on
pipe.
that far side. No, it got out.
Yep, it hit the pipe and kicked back out.
The post, a goalie's best friend, and that's the case for Caitlin Jarvis on that one.
The pipe is the goalie's best friend, Trav.
Yeah. Now you got to clear. This New York ride has been terrific. Virginia able to collect, though, and they can set up shop. This is Raleigh Foster. Ball floats across the top. Picked up by Kestner. Her defender falls down. Kestner all the way through, and she buries it, but a whistle.
Correct. We've seen that a lot these past few games, right, where in college they would have been goals, but now they get called back for 8 meters.
So Lee Kestner sets up the free position here from the 8-meter line. He goes right toward goal, and this time it falls. The bounce shot, it's working. Back-to-back goals for DC Virginia. They're back within 1.
Kestner makes a nice play on this as well, and like, you know, I've noticed in all these games, it is a matter of runs, like you always say. So when a team gets on a roll, you know, they get possession for a few times, they win a couple of draws, and then as soon as, you know, that is broken, it's the next team's turn.
No hesitation by Kestner. She knew exactly what she wanted to do. Bounces it in. Her first goal, the native of Charlottesville, Virginia. I think she's a Virginia Cavaliers fan.
Yeah, I would think so. You think? I think you're right about that.
I don't know if you can live in Charlottesville and not be. What a beautiful town that is. Another, this time a draw win for DC Virginia. It's been New York dominating there, but they get another possession here and a chance to pull even. Kestner floats it inside. Good look! We're all tied up at 4. Falling down, it was Sophia Stoltz.
When you see Stoltz make this shot, again, so impressive. While you're losing your balance to still bury the shot. And that's what I love about watching these games is you just see how talented these kids are. And there she is falling to her knees and hits, you know, upper corner, right lefty. She's a lefty there, and she gets off such a strong shot. What is a rocket?
Yeah, that is a heck of an effort by Sophia. Now she'll go back and take the draw for DC Virginia. Battle for this draw, and it's won by Virginia. Charlotte Smith was there. They are looking to push it ahead quickly. So we had the 4 straight goals by New York, and DC responds with 3 in a row of their own.
And now possession to tie this game.
Oh, about that. Under 3 minutes to go in the first half. Clock will stop here for the final 2 minutes of the half. Running time otherwise is Kestner looking for another. Already with 1 goal in this first half. Now pull her
There's a
back
penalty.
here.
Yeah, it's not going to be an 8-meter, though, just a possession.
Triggers it back in. Addison Collins, she scored first for DC Virginia. Led 1-0. Now back even, tied at 4. Stella Pence with it. Goal line extended. Pence trying to spin through traffic. Somehow keeps possession, and it's an offensive foul charge.
Correct. And as soon as you spin and turn your back to the cage and you still try to like work your way towards goal, that is always going to be a charge. Anytime an attacker turns their back to the cage and tries to, back their way in, it's always going to be a charge.
Maybe a chance for Downstate to get one more good look here in this first half, bringing it all the way across into the restraining area. Jane Brennan. Oh, here's a good look. Pass into the middle. Big collision. Offensive foul. It's a charge going the other way.
Oh, boy. I don't know how I feel about that. I'd like to see that play again if we could.
Sophia Stoltz took the charge.
Wow.
There's a lot of contact both ways.
Correct.
I'll say that.
And when two people are going for the ball like that, I mean, in order for it to be a charge, the defense has to be set, settled, feet moving, in perfect body position. Like not, in motion.
Good look on the shot there for Collins, and she'll get a free position. Now, Addison Collins scored the first goal today. Under a minute to go. A chance to maybe score the final goal of this first half. See what she opts to do here. Lines it up. Right toward goal. Bouncer gets through. A little change up on the shot. Addison Collins has her second, and it's 5-4.
Yeah, I think that, when you come at the angle that she was coming, you think if you're staring at the cage, I think you thought maybe she was going left corner, and instead she went to the right side. So you'll see coming down right here is Collins. She starts to drift, and then she goes to the inside part of the cage as opposed to the outside part. So I really think as a goalie, you have to make that decision where you think that the shot's going to be, and sometimes you guess correctly, and sometimes you don't.
So about a minute to go. DC Virginia back in front. In a game of runs, New York had scored 4 in a row. Now DC Virginia scores 4 in a row, and they pick up another draw. Amory Imperator picked up that draw control. And now the possession for Stella Pence and company.
Once DC has settled into this game, they've done a really nice job.
I mean, a lot of it's been about the possession. When they've had the ball on offense, they've taken advantage.
Correct.
Now this Downstate defense trying to solve the equation that has been the offense here for DC Virginia. They've been good. Imperator looking to get free. Amory shot, but a save. Morgan Morris with the stop. And now a chance to clear as time expires on this first half. So New York Downstate gets a stop to end the first half. But DC Virginia ends the opening half on a 4-goal run, and they've got a 1-goal lead here at the break. We'll have some first half highlights when we come back. You're watching the American Select Lacrosse Class of 2025 Championship game on Lax Sports Network. Back here at the American Select Lacrosse Championship in Delaware. Travis and Tracy back with you. Some highlights of this Class of 2025 Championship game. And Tracy, a game of runs. DC Virginia struck first, but then New York responded with 4 straight goals.
Oh, they sure did. Their offense was clicking. They were on fire. They were finding all the matchups. I mean, I would have just kept feeding the ball the whole time to Stonecipher. I mean, she was definitely on fire. Ingram had some nice plays, and then all of a sudden Richardson just gets it started for them. And, Kennedy won a couple of draws. She won a couple of midfield possessions, scored a goal, and then it was all DC Virginia.
Yeah, they finished this first half on a 4-goal run. And so after trailing 4-1, They lead 5-4 as we get ready to start the second half here on LSN. We will have it for you when we come back from Frederica, Delaware. DC Virginia with a 5-4 lead as we start the second half here, the class of 2025 championship game from the American Select Lacrosse Championships here at the DE Turf Complex in Delaware. Travis and Tracy back with you. And Tracy, it's been fascinating to watch the draw here because really how the draw battle has gone has been how the runs have gone offensively in this game so far.
I mean, don't we say that all the time?
We
That's
do,
really
yeah.
how it goes. Yeah.
And it's New York who wins the opening draw. That's Winkler off the circle that picks it up. And it'll be New York in the white uniforms that'll get the first possession here of this second half. Trailing for the second time today. Good look inside, and it's buried. Grace Winkler won the draw, and she gets the first goal of this second half. We're knotted at 5.
That was a great play, too. What a great effort to start the second half. You know, I like the way Winkler played in the first half as well.
Second goal of the day for Grace Winkler out of Richfield, Connecticut.
That. I mean, just, you know, ticky-tack, I love those plays. They're just so athletic when you see it like that.
Gives Zoe Stonecipher an assist. She had a couple of goals in the first half, and she fed that one. Loretani and Richardson in the draw circle. This one won by DC Virginia. Nice play there by Imperator. However, it's given right back to New York.
That's unfortunate. Unforced errors, you know, we talk about those all the time. Value the ball on offense.
That's as good as a draw control for New York Downstate.
Correct.
That pass somehow gets all the way across midfield, and here comes New York. Looks like they're shutting off Grace Winkler, and so she's just going toward the corner there.
But yeah, there's always that interesting thought process behind the hard lock. You know, do you pull out and go 6v6? Do you try to work plays? Do you try to set picks? Do you try to use the crease?
Here we go. Ingram feeds, shot, and that one's wide. Back up there for Downstate. Now you see Winkler starting to come more into play. She's still being shut off there on the far side. Well,
I just always find it curious to see how the coach is going to get her out of the lock.
Yeah. Edson draws a whistle, and she'll have an 8-meter from a tough hash on that far side.
Yeah, not always the best scenario there.
She drives all the way in, and Edson buries it. He says, it's not tough for me. I got this.
Yeah, look at the speed on that. And again, it's all about the first step. I mean, Edson just blew by all the defenders that were next to her and kept it in her left hand and made just a great placed shot. You'll see right here, she takes off as soon as the whistle blows and just sneaks her way in.
I mean, it's at that point, it's a race between you and the two defenders that are
Correct.
On either side of you, and she won it.
She sure did. And protected her stick, which is, the best part about that. Because even as a defender, if you're a step behind, if she, went for the power shot and hung her stick, that could have easily been checked.
So back-to-back goals for New York to start the second half, and they have a lead back 6-5. Nice play there off the draw for DC Virginia. That was Taylor Florin. Looking for space inside to score. Great catch and finish inside by Raleigh Foster.
I wonder if she caught that, or did it hit off her stick? If she actually caught that and got a shot, huh? Because that was a tough catch if she did. Holy cow.
I mean, it was barely in her stick, if it was at all. Yeah.
Yeah,
great.
it was.
Great hand-eye.
Wow. Yeah, that was just... I mean, that's, you know, when you play on these top teams and at these tournaments, that's exactly what we expect. She did not disappoint.
Give Quinn Murray an assist on that feed. She just floated it up there and let Foster do the rest as
Correct.
Edson wins the draw. Third game of the day, third championship game of the day. One more coming here at the American Select Lacrosse Championships. That's the class of 2026 coming your way at 2 o'clock Eastern time, so make sure you stay tuned for that. Saw Connecticut win the first two in the class of 2023 and 2024, including an overtime win in the last championship game we had here. This one looks to be another good one.
Absolutely.
Third straight really good game. I mean, the first game was 11-7, but it was a one-goal game all the way to the very end.
Correct. Absolutely.
Gabby Luritani. See what she can do. Floats it inside and a save. And Caitlin Jarvis was up to the challenge there for Virginia.
She sure was, and what she did, though, was she stepped up and went stick to stick. And that's why, as an attacker, you have to understand that you have a lot more time than you think, especially around the cage. And what she really should have done was fake that high when Jarvis jumped at her, just put it right around her.
Tell John to make sure he has the score correct before he starts directing everybody.
DC Virginia gets it across the midline. Quinn Murray brings it in. Whistle.
Yep, it's going to be a foul right there. So fun, Travis. You know, like, I love doing these events and love doing this. I'm getting all kinds of texts and things from my friends that are all driving home. My friend Becky and Lindsay, they're on their way home, and they're texting that they're listening. I love it.
And a great look. You're seeing a spectacular effort here from DC Virginia. Inside, that was Addison Collins with her third, a hat trick for Addie.
Yeah, Addison Collins, we've said her name a lot this afternoon. She has had a strong game for DC Virginia. And she's always in the right spot, always in the right place. And you know, when the ball's in her stick, she very rarely misses. And you'll see here, she just sneaks behind her defender right there and really goes to goal untouched.
I think that was Foster who may have set up that goal. Raleigh already with a goal, and so DC Virginia team responds again. That's been the story of this game. They're back up by one at 7-6 after back-to-back goals, but New York then wins the ensuing draw.
They just keep going back and forth. But, you know, what can happen is you know, Downstate cannot allow DC to start getting a goal or two advantage. 3 goals getting into, you know, late into the second half here.
Mary Sack on the near side. Julia Pope. Basi Galupo. Got that weave going at the top. Edson. Thought she might have had a step. Now coming across, and that one somehow gets through. It's Stonecipher with her third.
Stonecipher, for me, is the one that's feeling it in this game. I mean, she just, again, she keeps the ball low. I can't stress enough how I am so against those high-to-high shots, Trav. But you watch here, you know, the goalie's looking, her stick's up high, she's trying to protect, and then all of a sudden you have to pick up the ball off the ground, move your stick for protection, and that's when it sneaks by.
Just finding a way to beat Jarvis, who looked like she was on it, but may have even gotten a piece, but Downstate for a little too much on that shot. She gets it by. She also has an assist to go along with those 3 goals. She's had a terrific game.
She has.
So we're all knotted up at 7 apiece, right around the midway point of this second half. Might have overtime again.
That's the way it should be.
Yeah, I mean,
it shows you that all the right teams made it where they're supposed to be. All the games have been close from the semifinals up.
Yeah, and it just shows you the
parity.
Yeah, the great dispersion of talent across all these different regions. And last year we had a Florida team make it all the way to the championship game. Seen Pennsylvania, Massachusetts, Connecticut, New York all represented in semifinals across these 3 age groups we've seen so far. So really shows you just how many great players there are all over the place.
Correct.
New York looking to go back in front. Haven't had a lot of just 1-goal runs. If somebody scores, they usually get a couple in a row.
Correct. Exactly. And it's always about that, But in these games, I am seeing the runs, but they're still basically goal for goal at that point.
Loretani trying to feed it across, ends up in the stick of Jarvis.
And that's the one time I'm going to say I've seen Downstate not value the ball. That was a big possession. It's a 7-7 tie. You want to try to get on a little run. There's no need to force that ball into the middle of the 8-meter. But again, I mean, they still have 3 full years of high school. You see somebody's open for a second, you pull the trigger. And the DC has good defense on that particular play.
Floats it across to Richardson, and now they get it into the attacking area. See what DC Virginia has for an answer. About 13 minutes to go. Spinning through traffic, a whistle as Sophia Stoltz look to get through. She'll get a free position. Good look for Stoltz here. Try to break the tie, and she does. She goes up high, the jump shot, and buries it low.
And you see that, right? She jumps up, so what does the goalie do? She tries to go stick to stick, but it's just not there. She goes low.
Second goal of the afternoon for Sophia Stoltz.
Nice play by Stoltz there. But I will tell you this, the one thing that you do see on this play is that she goes in untouched. You have to make some contact with the attacker to get her off her route.
So it's 8-7 DC Virginia back in front. Stoltz joins Collins as the multi-goal scorers for DC Virginia, and they win another draw. Marit Krittenberger brings it across the restraining line. Trying to get through traffic. There was Avery Coleman.
So how is that one not a charge when they've been calling charges like that the whole time, right? Like, to me, that was good defensive position, but maybe from her angle they pushed out. I'm not sure. But you hear the coaches from DC, protect the ball, and they are correct.
Reposition for Coleman. She lines it up, goes in, but a stop. Right there is Morgan Morris. And we go quickly the other way. Out in transition, wide open shot, and a foul. I believe we had a whistle before that shot went wide. It's a good look for Allie Campbell. No, actually, that must have been from another field. We're good. It
might have been, or the fact that she got the shot off, Trav. They might have pulled the flag.
no matter what, it's New York Downstate with the ball. And another save for Jarvis. Sorry, that was Logan Berry who was out in transition, just shot it wide.
Shot selection.
Stoltz.
No, we're not running the show.
Great.
He's getting way too fucking bored in there.
Quinn Murray will restart it here around midfield. Just under 10 minutes to play. 1-goal game. DC Virginia with the lead and the ball. Kendra Harris looking inside, deflected all the way toward the end line. Stays in. Big loose ball picked up.
Nice save.
And I think we have a free, do we have a free position coming? We do. Avery Coleman, another look here from the 8-meter line. And she'll pull it back. And I think that was it. There was a yellow card issued on that play, but player down, and it's stolen away by New York.
That's a big play by New York right here. And what they need to do now is, one, run out the clock, and then two, see if they can, you know, score. But they don't have to, but they do need to get back to even.
So they'll try to kill off the rest of this penalty as they now have possession. 8:30 to play in this game, trailing by 1. DC Virginia going to bring the double team. They're going to try to pressure 4 orange jerseys around, but able to get out of pressure there is New York. Look out, opportunity and a score.
Huge goal, huge.
Kate Gould with her first of the day. Just over 8 minutes to play. Heading to a timeout here on the field. Kate Gould coming up with the goal. Short-handed. What a take this was. Terrific individual effort. We are all tied up at 8. We are all tied up at 8 apiece with just over 8 minutes to play here at the DE Turf Complex in Frederica, Delaware. The American Select Lacrosse Championship, this class of 2025 championship game has been terrific, Tracy. And it looks like we've got another good one here down the stretch.
Absolutely. I mean, this game is so fun to watch. It's end to end. You know, one team gets on a roll, then the next team gets on a roll, then you got one goalie save and another goalie save, and I just love all the action, you know, and the fact that neither team is really getting rattled. The poise for the class of 2025 is impressive to me.
I mean, give a lot of credit to both teams. They've seen 4-goal runs from their opposing teams, and they haven't been shaken at all. They've just been able to respond, and it's led to an 8-8 tie. By the way, we have the class of 2026 championship game coming up about 35 minutes from now, 2 p.m. Eastern time. It's Maryland versus Georgia. So stay tuned for that. Class of 2026, soon to be high school freshmen, coming up at 2 p.m. Eastern time here on LSN. As for now, still got to figure out who's going to win this class of 2025. We've seen Connecticut win the first 2 titles. Another region's going to get a championship out of this. Great takeaway in the midfield. Opportunity here for Virginia, and they cash in. Quinn Murray causes the turnover, picks up the ground ball, and scores.
That was a great play by Murray, super aggressive, and what I really like about it is you saw her breakaway speed on that. Once she picked up the ball, there was no hesitation. She was 100 miles an hour to the cage. Right there, and she beats the defenders. The other defender can't catch her. Protects her stick so it can't be back checked, you see. And I like how you see how she takes the diagonal angle, which puts her defender on her back instead of hip to hip.
So Quinn Murray, her first goal of the game, she had an assist earlier At a Chevy Chase, Maryland puts DC Virginia in the lead, 9-8. And now another draw. Here's Murray again. Opportunity. Murray splits two and is checked, and an 8-meter coming up.
It's a big opportunity right here because as you're getting into the later parts of this game, it's very hard to catch up.
Murray goes toward goal, shoots just high. Back up there for Virginia. Kendra Harris goes low, and that slides by. Back-to-back goals for DC. They lead by 2.
You know, anytime you put the ball on the cage, you run the risk of scoring. So, I mean, that's just one of those things where, you know, you just keep shooting and shooting and you hope for the best. And you'll see here it comes. One-on-one opportunity. Again, that bounce shot, when you are a goalie and the defender's in your way and you're trying to pick everything up and make the move, those bounce shots are the ones that have the best opportunity to get in.
Bounce shot and goes off stick side. Good placement there by Harris. Her first goal, and it's a 2-goal lead for DC Virginia under 6 minutes to play. Big draw win there for Downstate.
That is a big draw, and they need to capitalize on it and value the ball.
New York shot saved, but it's tracked down there on the end line. They'll keep possession. Good look for Cindy Ingram, who's looking for her second goal. It's a nice save by Caitlin Jarvis. Winkler feeds inside. Great look off the post. And this will stay with New York as it was offsides on DC Virginia. Big possession for New York, trailing by 2. How do they respond? Feed across. Stays in and tracked down here in the corner.
That was great hustle play on that, because the one thing you can't do, you know, is just those unforced errors right now. It's too important time in the game.
Winkler. She's had a terrific game, couple of goals. Stone Cipher with 3. Keep an eye on those 2 players. Winkler, the feed, and the finish. Gabby Loretani with her first. New York back within 1.
Great possession right there. You know, really not getting too stressed, not getting, you know, sometimes with the younger players, Travis, you see them play like hot potato. I don't see that at all with either one of these teams. They're both really composed.
Nice feed from Grace Winkler. So with 3:30 to go, 1-goal game once again. Back and forth we go. This has been a fun one. Nicely done. Going up to get it was Stoltz.
Yeah, that was nice. That was huge.
Whistle and a play on. DC Virginia now under 3 minutes to go. They can play keep away, up by 1. Now the question is, when does New York start to kind of press out?
Yeah, well, it depends. You know, you have to watch the offense that they're running, and then see if they're just going to pull it out and run clock. Then you have to send someone. But I mean, if you see them just standing around, you cannot let them, you know, just run out the rest of this clock without pressure. That would be
nice save. Huge stop inside by Morris. She needs somewhere to outlet to.
Correct.
This is a strong ride. Tough catch. Rowan Edson came back to help. Really nicely done by New York. So nearing 90 seconds to play. New York a chance to tie. Feed just a little too high for Edson. Loose ball picked up by New York, but a save on the backside by Jarvis.
You know, I'm not understanding that these coaches have these timeouts, and why they're choosing not to use them will always surprise me. You know, and you should have probably called that timeout and set up a last-ditch play, you know?
Now DC Virginia can kill off the final minute if they can play keep away. Richardson splits a couple of defenders. Ball is loose. This time a foul on DC Virginia.
Wow.
You're still alive.
They sure are. And again, you have a timeout, coach.
Under a minute to play.
Let's see what the... I guess, you know, you have to score quickly because you're down by one. It's not like a tie and you need to win this game. So they need to make sure that they're smart here. Nothing need to force. You just need to tie and get into overtime.
Edson with it, goal line extended. Feeds inside through all sorts of traffic. And it's a whistle. I do not know how that ball got to Lauritani, but it did. And she's got an 8-meter coming up.
And I don't know how she kept it in her stick because she was immediately swarmed. And because she was so good with her stick, they fouled her.
So here we go. 24 seconds to go. Lauritani a free position. Drives to goal. Shoots. Saved by Jarvis. Richardson picks up the ground ball.
What a save. And, you know, again, we talk about Richardson, and I'm going to tell you that Richardson has made some of the key plays in this game for this team. I mean, she was the one that started their initial comeback. She just always seems to be that presence when needed. Great game and a great save, clutch save by the goalie. Just hold it.
Caitlin Jarvis playing keep away. And DC Virginia will run away with the championship. They hold on against New York, 10-9 your final. They win the class of 2025 here at the American Select Lacrosse Championships.
Congratulations to DC Virginia. What a great win. What a great comeback. And now this is the second game in a row, Travis, that we've seen teams come back and finding a way to win these games in the last minute or in overtime. I think it's the way the tournament should be.
Unbelievable. We had overtime in the last game. This one comes right down to the wire. A back and forth game. Leading the way was Addison Collins with 3. Sophia Stoltz had a pair. Kendra Harris with a big goal down the stretch, as did Quinn Murray.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, they just, and you see how excited they are, you know, and it's just a struggle to get to this game and to win on such a tight, you know, score. I just think such a total team effort on this one.
Yeah, you mean, you think DC Virginia, they went up 1-0, scored the first goal, then watched New York jump ahead 4-1, but they did not panic, no give up, and it was a game of runs there from there on out. And I mean, credit to this New York team. They put in a terrific fight, just couldn't quite get that last one to go.
Correct. But that was a great save. I mean, you went low, wasn't high to high. Goalie just got a foot on that, and then Richardson was there for the rebound, so no second chance.
So DC Virginia, your champs here in the class of 2025 of the American Select Lacrosse Championships. We will hand out some hardware when we come back DC Virginia, your champs here in Delaware. The celebration on for DC Virginia. Team pictures all getting going, and they get to celebrate a title as they win over New York Downstate. 10-9 your final here in the class of 2025 championship game at the American Select Lacrosse Championships here in Delaware. Travis and Tracy back with you. They'll hand out some cool swag for our champions here in the class of 2025. All players that'll be high school sophomores coming up this fall. Such an exciting time for these teams. It's so much fun to have them get a chance to celebrate here after a long week of lacrosse.
Oh, no question about it. And look at them. They are just so excited. You know, they're all clapping for each other. The parents, again, are on the sideline right there, you know, watching them get their championship T-shirts. Everybody's just so proud of the girls and what they've accomplished. It's just such a great way to end the summer.
Chance to maybe take a deep breath here for a couple weeks. Comes down to recruiting dead period here once we start August, and obviously this next summer will be such a huge summer for all these players as they enter their soon-to-be high school junior seasons in a couple of years.
Yeah, and you know, you just go into the rest of the summer with all this confidence, and you go into your fall seasons. And again, when you go further down south, you know, they start school a little earlier than we do up north. So these girls literally have a week or two before they're back in high school.
For now, they're celebrating a championship. Your class of 2025 champs over New York, DC Virginia, 10-9 winners. Well, we got one more game coming your way. In about 20 minutes, we'll have Maryland versus Georgia in the class of 2026 championship game here from the American Select Lacrosse Championships. But for now, we say so long from Delaware. For our entire crew and Tracy Weiner, I'm Travis Eldridge. We'll see you in about 20 minutes for the final championship game of the day.